I want to share a perspective that often goes unnoticed. Living alone in old age can be a positive experience, not just a disadvantage. Many people think growing older means constant worry about companionship or feeling abandoned, but that might be incomplete. In fact, solitude in later years can offer peace, freedom, and self-discovery. Rather than viewing it as something to fix, we can embrace it as a chance to step away from life's constant noise and settle into a more authentic version of ourselves. Take my neighbor, Mrs. Carter. In her early 70s, she suddenly found herself alone after her husband passed away. At first, she felt lost. Over time, however, she discovered her own rhythm. She decided her schedule without coordinating meal times or shopping with anyone else. She took early morning walks, watched the sunrise, and enjoyed her afternoon tea ritual. She also started painting, a pastime she hadn't explored in her busier years. Her demeanor changed. She said, "I love people, but I love my quiet too." That quiet brought her a steady sense of well-being. It's crucial to distinguish between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is an emotional state of craving connection. Solitude is a chosen time with oneself. It can be restorative. People who live alone often learn how to entertain themselves through gardening, reading, or knitting, and keep up with the world at their own pace, without the need to constantly negotiate schedules. There's a surprising sense of joy. Some worry about daily tasks, but managing chores alone can provide a sense of accomplishment. Handling cooking, cleaning, and finances fosters self-reliance. Small successes, like fixing a leaky faucet, bring quiet pride. You can adapt your home to your needs, arranging items for easy access or using new technology to simplify life. This helps maintain mental sharpness and emotional balance. Living alone also allows you to nurture friendships on your own terms. You aren't overwhelmed by social obligations you don't truly enjoy. You can choose who you spend time with and decline invitations that don't align with your interests. Many older adults find these carefully selected connections more fulfilling than frequent but less meaningful gatherings. With extra time to reflect, you may become a better listener and more empathetic friend. Practical concerns like safety and healthcare are real, but they're manageable. A simple medical alert system or a trusted neighbor who checks in can provide reassurance. Engaging with local senior groups can help with errands and transportation. By staying proactive, you can form a reliable support network, neighbors, friends, or distant family, and maintain your independence comfortably. The mental and emotional benefits of solitude in old age can be profound. With fewer distractions, it's easier to be mindful. A slow walk in the garden, a quiet moment by a window with coffee, or time devoted to a favorite creative pursuit. I know a retired teacher who decided to learn a new language for the mental challenge, and another gentleman who found joy in baking, enjoying the measured routine of each recipe. This quieter pace also helps in reflecting on life experiences, giving them deeper meaning. Some fear living alone means isolation, but it can actually lead to greater engagement with the world on your own terms. You might attend small events, visit your library, volunteer, or become a regular in community gatherings. By choosing activities you genuinely enjoy, you preserve energy and protect your well-being. That balance can lead to more joy and a stronger sense of purpose. My friend Mr. Johnson moved to a small village after retiring. He lived alone in a modest cottage with a vegetable garden. People assumed he'd be lonely, but he found a quiet routine that let him explore local traditions, chat with neighbors when he wished, and return to peace each evening. He described feeling like a tree with deeper roots, grounded by the simplicity of his days. He fished in a nearby pond, read international newspapers online, and cooked produce fresh from his garden. Every so often, he invited a neighbor for tea, and those conversations felt more meaningful because each person had rich personal reflections to share. Solitude can also inspire self-discovery. In younger decades, many of us are preoccupied with work, family, and meeting others' expectations. Later in life, being alone can rekindle old interests, perhaps learning a musical instrument, painting, or some skill once postponed. There's a childlike joy in realizing you can still explore, grow, and look forward to new adventures. This sense of discovery fosters optimism and counters the gloom that can accompany aging. Of course, solitude isn't for everyone. Some people genuinely crave constant companionship and thrive in bustling environments. But for those who do live alone in their later years, by choice or by circumstance, it can be liberating. There is no single way to age, and that is part of the beauty. The key is to honor your own preferences, build a supportive network, and understand that solitude can be just as enriching as a life surrounded by others. Many older adults finally have time to pursue what they've always dreamed of. By living alone, you gain the uninterrupted freedom to focus on what truly makes you happy. Writing, hosting small get-togethers, or simply organizing photo albums at your own pace. In a society that often overlooks the elderly, solitary living can be a statement of self-determination. You chart your own path, free from pressures to match someone else's schedule. Admittedly, this approach takes courage, planning, and a willingness to be content in your own company. Yet, once you embrace it, you might find these years filled with a gentle satisfaction that was elusive before. Instead of feeling left behind, you may realize you've entered a quieter, more peaceful chapter, rich with personal growth. Above all, aging alone can become an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to savor life's simple joys, and to recognize just how valuable even the stillest moments can be.